In the heart of a bustling city, where lights drowned out the stars and the nights were filled with distant sirens, lived Maya, a woman whose heart felt as heavy as the concrete that surrounded her. Each day blurred into the next, a tapestry of obligations and unspoken anxieties. Sleep became an elusive friend, and her dreams were but echoes lost in the cacophony of her thoughts. One sleepless night, Maya gazed out of her tiny apartment window, her eyes tracing the outline of the solitary tree that stood defiantly amidst the steel and glass. Its leaves shimmered under the pale glow of the streetlights, beckoning her. Drawn by a longing she couldn't name, she slipped into the quiet streets, her footsteps guiding her toward the tree. As she approached, she noticed a narrow path beside the tree that hadn't been there before. Overcome by curiosity, she followed it. The path led her to a small, overgrown garden nestled between towering buildings, a forgotten oasis in the city's shadow. In the center stood a man tending to luminous flowers that seemed to drink in the moonlight. "Hello?" Maya called out softly. The man turned to face her, with eyes that held the depth of age, kind yet ancient. His silver hair cascading like moonlight over his shoulders, and a small silver crescent moon pendant hanging loosely from his neck. "I've been expecting you," he said in a voice that was both soothing and wise. "Me? How could you possibly?" "Those who seek find their way here," he interrupted kindly. "Welcome to the Midnight Garden." She looked around, marveling at the ethereal glow of the plants, each one emitting a soft light that painted the air with hues of blues and purples. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "But how is this place even here?" "This garden exists between moments," he explained, "a sanctuary for weary souls." Maya felt a knot in her chest loosen. "I haven't been able to sleep," she admitted. "My mind won't stop racing. I feel lost." The night gardener nodded knowingly. "Would you like to help me tend to the dreams?" he asked. He gestured to the luminous flowers. "Each of these holds a dream meant to soothe a restless heart. Tonight, we can plant new ones." She hesitated, but then nodded. "What do I need to do?" He handed her a small spade and guided her to a patch of soil. "Think of something that brings you peace," he said. "A memory, a place, a feeling. Plant it here." Maya closed her eyes and thought of her grandmother's cottage by the sea. The sound of waves lulling her to sleep, the scent of salt and lavender in the air. She dug into the soil and gently placed the memory there, covering it with care. Almost immediately, a delicate plant sprouted, unfurling petals that shimmered like the ocean at dawn. The sight filled her with a warmth she hadn't felt in years. The gardener smiled. "Now, others who need comfort will find solace in this dream you've planted." They moved through the garden, planting more seeds of peace, hope, and forgotten joys. With each one, Maya felt her own burdens lighten. She shared stories of laughter and moments when time seemed to slow, and together they wove them into the fabric of the garden. As they worked, she asked, "But who are you?" "I am a keeper of dreams, a guardian of rest," he replied. "I tend to this garden so that even in the darkest nights, there's a place for the light to grow." Maya contemplated his words for a moment before asking, "Are there other gardens like this one?" The man smiled, a twinkle in his ancient eyes. "Not quite like this one," he replied gently. Hours, or perhaps only moments, passed, and the garden bloomed with newfound radiance. Maya felt a gentle fatigue wash over her, not from exhaustion, but from contentment. "It's time for you to rest," the gardener said softly. "But will I find this place again?" she asked, a hint of worry in her voice. "The garden is always here," he assured her. "Whenever you feel lost, close your eyes and remember the seeds you've planted. The peace you seek is within you." Maya nodded, her eyes heavy with a pleasant drowsiness. "Thank you," she whispered. She found herself back at the foot of the solitary tree, the first light of dawn creeping into the sky. The city began to stir, but the noise seemed distant now, less intrusive. Climbing the steps to her apartment, she slipped back into bed. This time, sleep embraced her gently, her dreams filled with moonlit gardens and the soft glow of luminous flowers. In the days that followed, Maya carried the serenity of the midnight garden within her. When stress mounted and her thoughts began to race, she would pause, breathe, and recall the peaceful labor of planting dreams. Her sleep improved, and with it, her days grew brighter. One evening, as she walked past the solitary tree, she noticed a small bloom at its base, a flower that shimmered like the ones in the garden. She smiled, understanding that the night gardener's sanctuary was not just a place, but a state of heart. And so, under the canopy of the city's ever-bright lights, Maya found her own haven of peace. The midnight garden lived within her, a testament to the power of connection, the healing found in shared stories, and the quiet magic that happens when one dares to seek solace in the most unexpected places. As our story gently comes to a close, take a moment to reflect on Maya's journey to the midnight garden. Just like Maya, we often let the special moments in our lives fade into the background, overshadowed by the stresses and routines of daily life. Remember those cherished memories, the simple joys, the warm laughter, the times when you felt truly at peace. These moments are the seeds you can choose to plant in the midnight garden of your mind. Allow yourself to nurture them, letting these positive memories take root and flourish within you. Imagine your own serene garden, filled with the blossoms of your happiest times. Each flower represents a memory you've planted, a source of comfort and joy that grows stronger each time you revisit it. There's no need to rush. Give yourself permission to slow down and savor these feelings. Feel the tension easing from your body as you breathe deeply and evenly. With each inhale, draw in tranquility. With each exhale, release any lingering worries. Know that this inner garden is always available to you, a personal sanctuary where peace and happiness bloom. By tending to it, you cultivate a space that restores your spirit and eases your mind. As you settle into rest, let the gentle fragrance of your blossoming memories soothe you. Allow yourself to drift softly into sleep, embraced by the comfort of your own cherished moments. Sleep well.